Hello Vault Heads, this is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. And welcome to the latest episode of Captain's Commpod. I was quite impressed with how popular the Commpod I did about mass mutation was. That seemed to go down quite well. And I haven't really talked much about cards from previous sets. So for this episode, we're going to do a throwback episode, and we're going to throw back to Age of Ascension. A lot of you probably listening were around for Age of Ascension and have played with these and have done the lifespan of the set, still possibly use them, but equally there may be some new players who were not playing the game during Age of Ascension, and certainly I was not podcasting or making videos then. So we're going to throw back to Age of Ascension, and we're going to talk about the 7 shards, which were cards which interacted with each other. They always came in at least 2s or 3s, and you got one from each house if you got the 3. And we're going to talk about which was the best and the worst in order. So first of all, we're going to go from worst to best. Which do you think is the worst? I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you a bit of time to think about it. So which do you think I've gone for as the worst? Okay, and I have gone for Shard of Strength, which is the Brobnar one. They're all artifacts. This one says, action, give a friendly creature a +1 power counter for each friendly shard. So if you only have one shard in play at the time, i.e. this one, you would get 1 +1 power counter. 2 shards, obviously 2, and if you had all 3 down, you get 3. And the reason why I've put it last is because power counters have never been particularly game-breaking or great. They don't make creatures that much more valuable, making them just a little bit stronger by 1 or 2. There are not that many cards that interact with them even still. I mean, there are certainly more in Dark Tidings at the moment, and there possibly may be some more in future that make it good to do it. But yeah, I mean, very little that this is going to combo with. There's the flex, which allows you to exhaust a ready Brobnar creature for amber of half of its power rounded down, so it could combo with that. It could combo with Might Makes Right, which was allowing you to forge a key if you sacrificed enough creatures with a high enough power level. But other than that, I can't really think of any others that particularly worked well with this. It was the least impactful of the 7. Not that any of the 7 were particularly massive, but that was the least of them. So we're going to talk about which one's number 6 next. So again, which one do you think I've got for number 6? Have a think. What do we think it could be? And then there we go. So Untamed, I've gone for at number 6. Artifact, Shard of Life. Action, shuffle a card from your discard pile into your deck for each friendly shard. So you can pull a card out of your discard pile and put it back in your deck. It can be any type of card, which is good. They can all be from the same house. So if you're going to get 1 or 2 or 3 and you're going to get them all from the same house, that could be quite useful. But for me, the reason why I've got this one at 6 is because it's so low down. In terms of, if you get it early, how much stuff are you going to have in your discard? And equally, when are you going to get the thing back? Are you going to have 2 shards or 3 shards down? If you get it late on in the game, that's going to be a lot more use. And again, it's not even a May, to be honest. Shuffle a card from your discard pile. So you have to, if you do it, you have to do all 3, whether you like it or not. If you've got 3 shards down and you trigger this, you have to do all 3. It's not May, it's shuffle. It's instruction. Do. Put them back in your hand maybe would have been a lot better. Put them on the top of your deck maybe as well, but shuffle them back in because you've got no idea when you're going to pull them. It's just a tricky one. So that's why that's gone in at 6. So up next will be number 5. What do you think I've got at number 5? Which house? Which of the 7 houses from Age of Ascension? And I've gone for Mars. Artifact, Shard of Hate. Action, stun an enemy creature for each friendly shard. So clearly my opinion is that stunning a creature is better than adding a power counter to one of your own creatures. I mean, you may disagree, but I would say that all the time. And equally, stunning an enemy creature is better for me than shuffling a card out your discard pile back into your deck. Again, I choose which creature I want to stun. It's ready in play. I might not have a way to kill it. It may be a Commpod Kirby that I can't kill. There we go. Right, that's not play fighting or reaping again, is it? It could be a CXO Tabor. It could be a Senator Shrix that's going to reap and exalt itself and put you into check because of the reap and the fact that it can spend amber on itself. There's all manner of really good reap abilities, action abilities, fight abilities that this will just stop the creature from triggering because it gets stunned. So for me, much better than the other two. I'll be obviously talking about the rest of them. So obviously I think that there are 4 that are better than this. This one I don't think is a bad one. It's alright. I mean, even an artifact that just said stun an enemy creature wouldn't be horrendous. It'd be alright. Wouldn't be great, but it wouldn't be horrendous. So that's why that's at 5. So which one do you think is going to be at number 4? Have a think. Which one could it be? Got 4 houses left. So I've gone for this. Shard of Pain. Action. Deal 1 damage to an enemy creature for each friendly shard. Now, if you can't kill the creature, stunning it may be better than just damaging it. But if it is a power 2 creature or less, chances are you're going to get it with this. If it's power 3 and you've got all 3 down, you're going to get it with this. I would much rather kill a creature than stun a creature, and a lot of the time 3 damage, if you've got a 3 shard deck, is going to be enough to take out a creature. I mean, again, Hunting Witch, what good stunning Hunting Witch? No good at all. Daughter, what good is stunning Daughter? Passive ability, no good at all. You need to kill it. So I would always say, I mean, it doesn't say kill, it does say deal damage, so I appreciate that if it's Gargantodon or Dicillus, you know, Khalifi Dragon, and it's not going to do the job there. But how many creatures are Gargantodon and Dicillus and stuff like that? I mean, there are still an awful lot of power 2 creatures kicking around, power 3s, even some power 1s. Not that they ever seem to stick around, but yeah. So that is why the Dis one has come in above the rest of them at 4. So again, have a think. It's that time again. Which one do you think I've got at number 3? Which shard do you think I think is better than the rest of them, but still not good enough to take the top spot? And it is the Shard of Knowledge. Logos artifact. Action, draw a card for each friendly shard. So, I don't know, you might think, why has he gone this so highly? Because he doesn't like draw. Yeah, you know, you've all heard me say, I do not value draw as much as a lot of other players do. If you're going to draw 2 cards anyway, and you don't draw the 2 cards that are the house that you've got active, you ain't playing them this turn. So, woo, you know, I mean, it helps you possibly plan a little bit for next turn, but yeah, that's why I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, again, if you're drawing 3 cards and you've got an even split left in your deck, statistically you should get 1 card you're going to play. But again, drawing 1 card extra that you can play for me is probably better than dealing 3 damage to 1, or putting a card back into your deck, because again, this is draw a card as opposed to put a card back into your deck. So I would always want it above the other ones that I've already mentioned. But yeah, because it's draw, not play, it's not wormhole, because it's draw, not play, that's why I haven't got it at number 2 or number 1, because a lot of the time you're going to draw cards you can't play. So yeah, logos at 3. So here we go again. Which do we think I've gone for number 2? It's all a bit quizzy, this one, isn't it? So yeah, have a think. There's only 2 left. Which one could it be? 50-50, and I've gone for Sanctum. Shard of Hope. Artifact. Action. A friendly creature captures 1 amber for each friendly shard. That's quite decent artifact control, actually. Anyone who's had Font of the Eyes in Mass Mutation, Omni, Action, Capture 1 if an enemy creature is destroyed. I mean, the Omni really makes it. This is not going to be Omni, to be fair. You are going to have to go into Sanctum to make it work. But if you had an artifact that said Action, Capture 3, you wouldn't exactly think it was a duffer. I mean, there's the Skeleton Key artifact, Action, Capture 1. It's not a bad artifact at all. I mean, capturing is not as great as stealing. It's not as great as your opponent losing one, but it's certainly decent. The only thing I will say is, thank goodness this wasn't with Saurians in Worlds Collide, because if it was, Action Capture 3, if you've got all 3 shards down and you've got, you know, Senator Bracketers and Senator Shrixers and Imperial Scutums and Calipigian Ideals and Prefectus Ludos, you're never going to get it back. Whereas in this set, hardly. I'm trying to think, was there even a way to stop your opponent getting amber back that was on a creature? I'm not even entirely sure there was. But again, you can just keep stalling it out. So it's good amber control. Again, for a set that was quite low on amber control. So last one to think about. I mean, you already know what it's going to be. Can you remember what it was? Can you remember which shard it was? You'll know the house. So obviously it's Shadows, because that's all that's left. And it was Shard of Greed. Artifact. Action. Gain 1 for each friendly shard. Yeah, gain 1. So gain 1 minimum. It's like having a creature down that you can always read with. But again, if you've got 2 of these, or if you've got 3 of them, Action, gain 3, you'd be happy with that, wouldn't you? If there's an artifact in the game, Action, gain 3 amber. Yeah, you'd take that. I don't think anybody would be disappointed with that as an artifact. What surprised me the most about these is that felt Untamed. That felt Amber Rush. I was always a little bit surprised that it wasn't Steal 3 and that the Untamed wasn't Gain 3. That's what surprised me the most about this. The rest of them made sense. Strength for Brobnar, Draw for Logos, Stun for Mars. Mars were a bit stunning in terms of they seem to like to stun things. But the Shadows gaining and the Untamed putting cards back, I just always felt that maybe Shadows should have been Steel and Untamed should have been Gain Amber. But there you go. What do I know? I'm just a fan making a podcast. But yes, for me, gain 1 for each shard in play. So just it's like reaping for 1. But again, if you got 2 down, and you're never going to have 1 by itself. You're always going to have at least 2. So once you've got 2 out, or if you get 3 out, gaining 3 is very good. So those are my shards. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, be nice to hear your thoughts on which ones you think I got wrong, which ones you think I've undervalued, which ones you think I've overvalued. As ever, I'll be really looking forward to hearing about it. We've got comments, we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got email. Obviously, I'd be very appreciative if you would subscribe on YouTube or follow on a podcast. Feel free to do likes if you like. Also, as well, I've now set up a Patreon. Podcasts I'm up to, this is going to be podcast number 16 on YouTube. I've got a good number of videos. In August I'll have been going for a year, so I thought, you know what, if anybody would like to, then feel free to do that via Patreon. It will basically be used to create freebies. That's what it will be done with. I've already created a Keyraken tracker card which tracks how much the Keyraken advances. I can't sell it, I can give it away because it uses official KeyForge artwork, so it's not my artwork and I'm never going to be selling it, but I can give it away. But a lot of the other stuff I will be doing, it will be my own artwork. The Captain KeyForge logo is my own artwork, you know, so anything that has that on it I can give away, I can sell, I can. So yes, we could be talking about cards, although I think we're going to be talking more tokens than cards. So I may do amber tokens at one stage, or I may do a token that can be used multi-purpose for like ignorance, knowledge, warrant, doom, glory. I mean, how many tokens are there now in this game? So yeah, that's going to be an option for anyone who's looking at that. But thank you for staying with me all the way through to the end of another Commpod. I very much appreciate it, and as ever, may the Forge be with you.